Hi guys, Mr. Johnny here. This video is part 2 of that video where I muck around with that tablet. The micro USB socket in which just fell out like this. So that's a micro USB socket from the actual laptop. I keep saying laptop. Tablet. That's a micro USB socket that I'm gonna install. It is a little bit different, but it should fit. And actually, luckily for me, if you're gonna take a look right here, you may notice that there is a pad which is plus 5 volts is still present. That's right there. You can still see a solder shining right there. So that's present, and a little chunk of ground is present too, so that's good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean up this space. I'm gonna take this part off, this little thing remaining of a old socket. I'm gonna clean off the cruddy lead-free solder. I'm gonna put a reasonable little blob of leaded solder right here and on right there on the plus 5 volt pad. And what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna apply some flux. I'm gonna set a replacement socket on top, and I'm gonna try to reflow it. That way I can hopefully make sure that the solder underneath flows and will actually fix the new socket to the board much nicer than the old one was. So let's do that. Okay, let's try to remove that little bob inside remaining from the old socket. For the job I'm gonna use my Heiko T12 station with a tip called D12. It's a 1.2mm wide chisel. And right there. I'll try to actually lift this piece off if I can. You can see the pads on the other side right there. And just gently, or not so much, try to remove the offending piece. Lifting a pad in the process, but it's not like it was fresh. It was damaged anyhow. Let's apply some leaded solder there. Some external flux would help. Let me zoom in on the actual job site. And some of this NC559 flux. This thing you don't have to tell me that it's a knockoff, I already know that, but you know what? It kind of works, so yep, the pad which is for the plus 5 volts is intact, as you can see right there. It's only pad shining there. right over there. See? So that's good, because ground polygon is quite easy to attach to. Now I'm gonna take the new socket, replacement socket should I say. I'm gonna thin the underneath of it. Oh boy, freaking surface tension, like that. Put a little blob of solder right there. That's what he said while putting a big blob of solder on there. And I'm gonna try to align it more or less and solder it on. Those two little bent pieces unfortunately are the wrong pitch on this thing, so just have to straighten the situation out. There is no more those pieces. Now I'm gonna align it. Or at least try to. Before I do that, I'm gonna try to remove this proximity sensor, because I don't wanna overheat that. It's stuck to the board using adhesive, so I can just lift it off. You can see a little bit of double-sided tape right there. Just put it out of the harm's way a little bit. Theoretically I can go in if I want, if I have the desire, and try to connect those little traces. As you can see, now you can see very well that the plus 5 volt trace is fine. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be bothered with it, because it is a hassle and I don't want unnecessary hassle in my life, because I have enough already. Okay, that looks more or less. As you can see right there, hopefully it is more or less aligned. Now I'm gonna go with my hot air station, using high temperature and low air speed, because I don't want to blow this thing away, do I? To make it flow, come on. The solder has melted, but you don't have to tell me that I do it wrong, I know. But that's the way I do it. This stupid sensor just keeps flinging into the way, so let's tape it down. Stupid device that wants to get fried. Seems like I tacked it in place more or less. It's reasonably aligned. Now let's just heat it up and try to push it flat onto the board. Oh, nice. You can see how the toothpick discolors. quite a high heat. It's crooked. God damn it. Oh, no. Unfortunately, that just beat the dust. The socket is now nuked. I chose the temperature which is way too high. Let's now remove it. And now let's install the other socket. I might actually try to reinstall the socket. The original socket. I'm not sure. Should I do that? It seems in a good shape. It seems to be in a decent shape. It's just that it is, you know, it's been ripped off. Let's try to clean the remains of the pads from the pins of the socket. And let's try to reinstall this, because why not? I think it's actually set on the board now. Yes, that is a scorch. Little bubbles that I scorched on my table. Let's poke it. That's nice. Not a big deal, because you can see how scratched and damaged this table is. It's a workbench. Oh yeah, it is there. Awesome. And it is aligned. And now I can proceed to, you know, soldering it. Touching up that plus 5 volt pin. Trying to get it soldered good and proper. Let's put a little bit more light so you can actually see what the hell am I doing, eh? Now I need to find my solder. Need to find the way to get in there without blocking a lot of the light, which is a bit tricky. And I actually now think that the plus 5 volt rail is connected again. Oh yeah, that pin is soldered down. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it is. There we go. Now I need to connect the ground. Let's zoom out a little bit so people will not freak out. And to do that, I'm just gonna go and put a blob of solder between this pad and this pin, which is closest to it, because those two are what should be connected. You can probably see that I have 3 pins left. Those are D+, D-, and on OTG go. OTG, which means on the go. It's a pin which is responsible for sensing whether this device is gonna be the host or the client. Just put it together a little bit and see if it's gonna take a charge. So you stay right there, and I'm gonna connect the other end here to the lab. God damn it, I keep saying laptop. To the tablet. Still nothing. Oh wait, there is. You see it? It takes a charge. Takes 0.2 amps. Not a lot, but it does. And let's take a look. What does it say on the screen? Well, not much, I would reckon, because it's now 0.4 amps. Good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Well, actually not. I'm gonna disconnect the battery, clean the flux residue up. I won't even try to repair the data pins because I just don't feel like it. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking for a while and then I thought, why the hell not? Let's just try, and that's the result. I managed to lay 3 little jumpers, which seem to be more or less soldered in place. Yes, there is a little bit of flux still present, but I won't remove that, because to remove that I need to swipe quite aggressively with a cotton swab, and that will cause some trouble. I have tested this flux, this MTech NC509. NC stands for no clean, and even though it's a knockoff flux, this particular one, it still does not corrode the board or cause any trouble. Okay, the board is back in. Flat flex right here is resoldered. Not very beautiful, but it is there. Now let's connect it up and see, will there be any current draw? Okay, you can see the meter and you can see the tablet. Let's plug it in. It is a little bit flaky, but you can see half an amp is flowing. Good. It's not great, but it's reasonable. Cool. Very nice. I'm gonna leave it like this for a while. Let it charge a little bit. And then I'll go to the computer, show you that whether or not the data plus and data minus pins are actually connected. I hope they are. I think they are, but I don't know yet are they or not. Okay, it's been charging for a while. Let's try to power it up. Where's the stupid button there? And it does. Wait for it to boot up and then try to connect it to the laptop. Okay, one thing for sure, it is slow as a dog. But here it is, it boots up. There is no personal information on the screen yet, so I can show it to you. Now I try to stick a micro USB there. Okay, it reacted. It says something, but most importantly, is it gonna pop up here? Okay, I think it does work, because here I have this, which I can choose. You can see charge only, camera, MTP, or USB thumb drive, something like this. Let's see, thumb drive. Oh yeah, my laptop reacts and the drivers are installing. It should pop up here. Yep, sure enough it does. Well, at least it did. One thing I noticed is it says XP recommended, as you can see, lets you transfer files between your blah blah blah. XP recommended, and I have Windows 7 there. But anyhow, the actual fact that I have this menu available says that the USB is working. Awesome. Now let's try on the go pin. For that I need to plug in the adapter, which I'm not sure if I have yet. I may have lost it somewhere. Let me check. Yes, I did lose it, so anyhow, you can see it works. Alright, had a minor little problem with the volume up, volume down key. I did not solder the one pin on the flex properly, so now I went in and fixed it, and now the volume works. So that's that. Thanks for watching. See ya.